This video is all about details, details, details. Hi, if you're new here, my name's Michael. Nice to meet you and welcome to Brickland, my 40 square foot Lego city, the current mock layout in my basement studio here. So for this episode, I do a couple things that I've been meaning to do for a while that I haven't really been able to fit into any specific episode. I generally try to do an entire building or a floor of a building or a section of just a segment of the city, right? But these are things that I wanted to do in earlier videos but didn't have the pieces for, or things that I thought of after the fact. And so I'm just kind of putting a few different things in there. They all do have to do with the train or the train tracks or the area around the train tracks. So I guess that's kind of thematically related. But yeah. So I'm totally out of 1x1 light gray, the light bluish gray tiles. and I need those to complete the railroad ties. So, and like I said, I think that the pick-a-brick thing for the US is stalled at the moment. I mean, I know that means I could still get the standard pieces, but I think those have to ship from Europe. And I'm not gonna wait 2 months for that. So I'll see if I have more, but I need like all that. I don't even know how many that is. And then there's, you know, I need like 10 more for that over there. So I think for now, I'll just do what I can and then move on to the next thing. One of the things I wanted to add for a while was some railings in certain places. And I've tried a number of different things, techniques. I got these little things, and while this could work in a lot of different applications, where I want to put the railing is along here. If I compare it to real life places, you know, they don't have railings, like a sidewalk going through a train like this, like there wouldn't necessarily be railings there. And I think it's just because trains are going slow enough that it's not a big deal. Or maybe it's just where I live. They don't care about safety that much. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like here, like there's no railing there because you walk from the sidewalk directly onto the train, and the train's never going to be barreling through there. So, but somewhere like this where, I don't know, it just seems like there should be a railing there, and so I wanted to do that. My microphone died in that last clip. So what I was talking about was how this particular piece was insufficient for what I wanted to do at the back of the museum here. I think it would have worked okay, but I do want to put it in other places around the city, and I want it all to match. And so I ended up getting railing, this pipe stuff, from a company called Freeland Wade. And as far as I can tell, it's exactly the same as what Lego puts in their official sets. It's just really, really long and not cut. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lego outsourced the production of those pieces anyways. But I'm curious what you think, because I am not sure I'm not sure what I think, because at a certain point, if you keep making exceptions to the only official Lego parts rule, at what point do you just start making models and just use, you know, raw plastic and shape it with a hot wire knife and make it look even more realistic? I don't know. No, I think the results speak for themselves. This looks good. It looks like Lego. It doesn't look out of place. It's just that there's no official set with a length of tube, a railing that's this long. And so theoretically it could exist. They just don't provide that. And that's probably the distinction between, that's probably a valid reason for the exception to the only official Lego parts rule. Okay, so I think the next place that I want to add railing along the railroad track is back here. I'm also going to add, I think, foliage. I think this is what I'm going to do. I'll show you more detail of how I do that, but I also want to add detail here as well, more foliage, so it doesn't just look like bricks on top, or, you know, these circle pieces on top. It should be like in the grass a little better. Do it over here too. So, all right, but first I actually think I'm gonna make the crosswalk go across like how I did it on the other side of the street. And that's the right height to match the sidewalk. So if I just replace these guys. Okay, you know what I think I realized the problem here is that I think this should be the other gray, the lighter gray, because one, these two, I did it that way, but the reason I did it that way is compared to this is this is a road, right? So a car could actually drive on that, and then they have to turn right here. And so the sidewalk is going down onto the road, whereas here, the sidewalk is the sidewalk and the train happens to be going through the sidewalk. And that is the same here because it's level. And like over here too, it's kind of the same thing where it's going down onto the tracks. And so I may actually swap those out for the light gray here and have that go through. And that might actually be useful because it might save me in some of the dark gray pieces. Although I think for the most part, it's the ones with the crosswalk tiles, which I don't need more of. I need more of the gray without. But yeah, let's see how that goes. I'm not going to record this part though. So I've got this railing here in a couple different places, here, and then back behind there. And it works. It's definitely the right spot for them. But now I'm wondering if I should put it other places. I could put it alongside here on the, see right there, you know, it seems like there might be a railing there, but I just don't know what's too much. And this also actually raises a whole question for me. My dog is telling me to shut up and get on with building more stuff, so I will do that. And I think I'm gonna make one last modification to the train and before I replace it with a proper light rail, as opposed to having a passenger train barreling down through a street. So, okay, so the first thing that I want to address is these little undercarriage parts. The last video I made about the train, I updated the bogies, which are the wheel parts, and I made these join together. This is called the Jacob's bogie or Jakob's bogie, and I really like that, but that changes the profile. Where the wheels are normally, there would have been these two wheels here, and so this size of undercarriage made sense. But in this gap, I want to get rid of this gap, so I'm just going to expand these two things, and it should be fairly simple to do. The train doesn't roll away. Now we're going to do some of this stuff. I don't know. It looks better, but I don't know that it's noticeable. So thank you for watching. Thanks for joining me here in my Lego studio, basement studio. I hope you enjoyed this detail-oriented episode. If you liked it, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more that's not just on YouTube, I am on Instagram and TikTok, and I actually do different things on the different platforms. My Instagram, I do a lot of just still photos, and that's kind of behind the scenes stuff. So as I'm making these, I make posts so you can, see stuff more in real time. And then my TikTok is actually, I'm experimenting with all kinds of content. It's not just Lego stuff. I'm just kind of yapping about whatever. So both of those are at rebricks or at michael.rebricks. Appreciate a follow over there too. I hope you have a good day. Bye.